everybody, so due to severe quarantine boredom, I have decided to compile a list of my top 10 favorite crocodilian movies. I'm a big fan of horror movies and a big fan of animal horror movies because animals are incredible. Crocodiles are one of my favorite animals, and I think they're freaking awesome. So without further ado, let's get started on this list. Coming in at number 10, we have 2000's Blood Surf.
You, me, and about 30 or so live-snapping sharks
can become the ultimate high.
Blood surfing. Yeah!
That's why we do it, babe. For the rush!
So this movie is about a group of friends going to a remote island to film themselves surfing with sharks. This movie is so bad that it is actually kind of great. Just check out the rest of this trailer.
Now, after surviving the ultimate test of nerves, these four friends are about to face
Something's not right.
the ultimate test
What was that?
You ever see anything like that?
of survival.
Come on, this isn't fun anymore!
It moves silently.
There's definitely something in there. It's not a mermaid.
It strikes quickly.
Am I the only one that notices that thing can haul ass in the water and on land?
Big, huge problem.
Saltwater crocodile, 31 feet long, over 3,000 pounds.
And it's got one huge
He wasn't hungry, guys. He wanted to kill.
attitude.
If that thing's still alive, there is no getting off this island.
Blood Surf.
Man, this is gonna be better than... What was the name of that shark flick?
Oh, man. That has gotta suck.
So as you can see, this movie is completely ridiculous and not to be taken too seriously. However, it does have some good gore and a couple decent practical effects with the crocodile head. It also has some really fun humor, both on purpose and not on purpose. You can definitely just sit back, drink, and laugh and giggle. At number 9, we have Crocodile 2 Death Swamp from 2002.
A tropical storm brought down their plane. Now, an unlikely band of survivors are trapped in the swamps of Mexico. And they're not alone.
You hear that, man?
Something is waiting. Something is watching. Something is out there.
Take it to the shack!
Okay, so this movie is actually a sequel to the next movie on this list. It is really silly and fun, and it's completely over the top in terms of plot and action sequences. But it's a lot of fun, again, not to be taken too seriously. Okay, for number 8, we have 2000's Crocodile, which is directed by Tobe Hooper, who directed the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist.
Okay. You win.
What was that?
So like I said, this movie is the original version of Crocodile 2 Death Swamp. However, this movie takes place in California as a group of teenagers try and enjoy spring break. This movie is over the top and silly, but Tobe Hooper still manages to give you a real sense of eeriness and dread. It kind of feels like a teen slasher movie, but with a giant crocodile. The practical effects for the crocodile are actually pretty good. The CGI is a little bit dated, or a lot of bit dated, I should say, but it provides for a good laugh, and this movie has some pretty good gore and jump scares. So Crocodile is a guilty pleasure of mine because I used to watch it when I was a kid. And if you just don't take it too seriously, it actually can be quite fun. So definitely give it a shot next time you feel like watching a silly movie. All right, and finally we get some great CGI given to us by Crawl from 2019, coming in at number 7.
All residents must evacuate immediately. Grab your families, your loved ones, and get out.
Dad!
We won't be able to come for you.
Dad!
Oh my God. What happened?
So this movie actually gives us a pretty interesting plot. A girl is trying to rescue her dad, who's stuck under their home during a hurricane, and they both end up being stalked and attacked by dozens of hungry, man-eating alligators. The setting of the movie is pretty interesting, being under a house, and it provides some really fun jump scares and like pretty wild action sequences and some really fun death scenes. It's definitely worth checking out. Just look at the rest of the trailer. It's cut together so well.
Banging on the pipes. Where's their senses?
I can distract them for you.
You got this! You need to go now.
I'm not leaving you here.
All right, number 6 is the Australian film from 1987 called Dark Age.
For over 200 million years, the crocodile has roamed the swamplands, coexisting with the people of the land. Today, it faces its greatest predator.
So Dark Age is about an officer having to hunt down a man-eating crocodile that starts terrorizing the waters near his town. I really like this movie because it focuses a lot on animal conservation and crocodile conservation. Some people in the movie demonize the crocodile and villainize it, and some people in the movie, just see it as it's an animal doing what it does. You also get to see some cool crocodile mythology from Australia and see how the modern civilized mindset might clash with the older indigenous mindset of nature being more valuable. So this movie has some really awesome practical effects that I think still hold up today. And it also has a couple pretty shocking death scenes. One in particular, you'll know which one it is when you watch the movie. This movie is basically if you mixed Jaws with Free Willy, but with a giant man-eating crocodile. It's not so much focused on a crocodile just slaughtering people mindlessly. It's more about the politics and the aftermath of what happens in a town when this kind of situation is happening. It's also very character-driven. It has pretty decent acting, and you really care about the characters, and you actually even care about the crocodile. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. I think it's a really underrated movie.
Dark Age.
All right, and coming in at number 5 is the legendary movie from 1980, Alligator. This movie kind of perpetuated the myth that if you flush an alligator down the toilet, that it will live in the sewers and stalk everybody. This movie is really fun, and it has some actually really cool camera work and jump scares. It kind of feels like a slasher movie from the 80s, but with a big alligator. The practical effects still are pretty decent. It does have some funny miniature special effects that are kind of fun to laugh at. But the movie builds genuine tension and actually has some pretty scary moments. I found it really enjoyable to watch. It's kind of like an OG of the genre. The storyline is, again, about someone flushing an alligator down the toilet, and then 12 years later, it emerges from the sewers, and it's a giant, 40-foot long alligator that starts terrorizing the streets of Chicago, and it's up to a cop to figure out how to defeat it. It's really fun. It's got some good gore. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going and renting it or watching it online because it's a fun time.
Now, no one will forget it.
All right, coming in at number 4 is 2007's Primeval.
Looks to be another mass grave.
So this movie is genuinely inspired by true events about a research team that went to capture the largest Nile crocodile that has ever been seen. The crocodile is real. His name is Gustav. He has killed over 300 people, and he is estimated to be between 25 and 30 feet long. And he is considered a legend and a monster in the area of Burundi near Lake Tanganyika.
Oh my God.
What happened? What happened?
So this movie takes place in Burundi, Africa, and it focuses a lot on the civil war going on in that area. I'd say it focuses on that just as much as it focuses on the storyline with the crocodile, which I actually kind of like because a lot of crocodile movies are just about the crocodile, and so it's cool to have something else, especially something that represents things that are really going on. This movie is definitely one of the more serious installments of this list. It doesn't have a lot of humor except for what they purposefully put into it. And there is some really funny moments from Orlando Jones. This movie got a lot of flack because its trailer insinuated it was a serial killer. I got from the trailer that it was about a crocodile, but a lot of people felt misled. But at the end of the day, it's still a really good movie, and it's high action, and it's quite entertaining with good acting. So definitely check it out because I think it is well worth its runtime. All right, number 3 is 2007's Rogue, easily one of the best crocodile movies ever.
Supposed to catch a boat cruise from here.
So one of the rules of my tour is that you have only one chance to complain about the heat and the flies.
All right, Rogue follows the story of a group of tourists going on a riverboat tour in the Northern Territory of Australia. Their boat ends up being knocked into by something underwater, and they get stuck on an island in the middle of a tidal river. Tidal rivers are just like the ocean. The tide rises and falls. So these people know that they're stuck on this island in the middle of this river, and they realize they are being stalked by a very large, very aggressive and territorial saltwater crocodile. And they have to figure out how to get off the island and onto the banks of the river without being killed. The crocodile in this movie is so aggressive and scary. They do a great job of making you fear the water in this movie. You don't want the characters to get close to it because you know this thing is just going to rip them apart. This movie has awesome CGI and genuine terrifying moments.
Sorry.
Rogue is a genuinely terrifying movie, especially in the last 15 minutes. And even on the 4th or 5th watch, that last 15 minutes has me biting my nails on the edge of my seat. It is so terrifying. If you have not seen this movie, you have to go rent it and watch because it is a great time. Even if you're not necessarily into crocodile movies, it's just a good movie with good acting and good CGI. So definitely go and check it out. All right, number 2 is Blackwater from 2007. As you can tell, 2007 was a good year for crocodile movies.
You two take care of each other.
We will.
Holidays. Sure beats being in the office.
All right, Blackwater follows the story of 3 people heading home from a Christmas vacation. Every day on their way home, they stop and do an activity, and they rotate choosing the day's activities. They decide to go on a fishing boat river tour, and while they are on this tour, their boat gets capsized by a crocodile, and they become stranded in an island of mangrove trees in the middle of a large river. This movie is based on true events that actually happened in the Northern Territory of Australia. This movie is definitely the most realistic movie on the list. The acting in this movie is really well done. There's some really cool cinematography going on, and there's a lot of claustrophobia. Even though they're in the outdoors, they're stuck in a small area with this, man-eating crocodile, 10 feet below them. This movie actually used a real crocodile to film the movie. There's a couple scenes during the attacks that they used practical effects, but they use no CGI except for imposing the real crocodile into the shots. It's really interesting, and this movie is genuinely scary, and it really makes you think, what would you do in this situation? This movie focuses on the emotional trauma of the situation just as much as the physical trauma. So if you're a fan of drama and horror and animals, it's definitely worth a watch because it is so realistic and genuinely tense and scary. Hence the reason why it is at number 2. All right, number 1 is Lake Placid from 1999. I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid in theaters and thinking it was just one of the most fun movies I've ever seen. The comedy in this movie is hilarious. The banter between the characters is just as much the star of the show as the crocodile is. The crocodile effects are fantastic. The CGI still holds up today, and most of the effects are practical effects, and the practical effects are actually done by the legendary Stan Winston, who did Jurassic Park and Aliens. This movie is really, really funny. You could really consider it more of a black comedy versus straight up horror. But the tense moments are tense and scary, and the comedic moments are very comedic. It mixes the two genres so well.
Is this the man who was killed? He seemed taller.
And the characters are just the most sarcastic people you're ever gonna meet. It's got some good gore, some really great action. It's just everything you could want in a crocodile movie. It's got Betty White. Like, come on. What else can you ask for? If you have not seen this movie, you have to go watch it. I think anybody would enjoy it if they saw it on TV or just rented it, even if you're not necessarily an animal horror movie fan. It's just fun. So go out, watch it. It's the freaking best.
Lake Placid.
Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I know it was kind of long. It was longer than I expected. But I decided I wanted to show, trailers of each movie. That way, people who actually want to watch them don't have to necessarily go and look up the trailers on their own. Unless they want to, to see it without me talking over them. Let's pause and watch Betty White feed her cow to a crocodile real quick.
Come and get it!
That was epic! We all know Betty White's a bad bitch. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let me know. Let me know what your favorite crocodile movies are. Please support animal conservation. Crocodiles are scary, but they are predators just doing what they do. If you're scared of an animal, go look it up and learn about it. That's how I got over my fear of spiders. So, yeah, thank you guys again for watching this video, and have an awesome day. Stay safe in quarantine.